Hey guys, welcome back to Vince-Vell Custom. So today I'm sharing with you something a little bit different, but this can help a lot of collectors, whether you're doing pre-paint statues that you customize, whether you do your own sculpt from scratch, maybe you buy kits and you want to make yourself a custom foam package because you're going to move and you want to make sure the statue doesn't get damaged, or if you decide to sell it and you're shipping it out far away and you want to make sure it's packed pretty well, you can actually get yourself a foam wire cutter. Now, I did a lot of research, and for what I do, I don't need one of those $500 foam wire cutters that have all the tools, because I'm not cutting big, huge blocks of foam. I just need to cut out little spaces here and there to fit up the custom stuff with the tweak. So, as you can see here, this is a Scarlet Witch statue from Sideshow, but I turned it into a Killer Frost, but I need to custom cut the foam for when I go to ship it out. So what I did is I did my research and I found the cheapest tool out there, which is called Tippy Hot Wire Foam Cutter, and it comes with a couple blades. Right now this is kind of like a little rectangle blade on the top, and what it is you plug it in, you hit the button and it heats up, and then you actually can sit there and you can just cut out the foam. In the past, what I was doing is I was using a steak knife with serrated edges, and I was cutting out the foam, and I would just make a mess of myself in the garage with all the foam all over the place. So a friend of mine says that he saw a video, and he says hot wire foam cutters, and then I went to a foam place up in North Jersey that actually sells peanuts and stuff, but they also cut foam. And I was talking to the guy, and he says just find yourself a cheap foam cutter and you can do this yourself. So I did a couple tests with the wire cutter that I got. I had a defective one. I sent it back to the company. They were kind enough to send me a replacement. So I'm going to go into the garage and I'm going to show you how I start cutting out the foam pieces for the custom. Now, as you can see with this statue, the head is bigger than the foam, but I still need most of the body to be secured. So when I ship it out, I'm not worried about the head toppling out of the foam box because I can actually wrap that up anyway, but at least the majority of the body would be all cut up. So we're going to go into the garage and we're going to do this, but one word of advice though is I've been testing this with foams, and certain foams give a really nasty burn, like fumes, so you might want to wear a mask, while other foams don't seem to be a big problem. I think these are mostly made for, like, crafting foam that you get like at Michael's and stuff, but since this is like foam from China and sturdy, this stuff is probably toxic as all hell, but I don't care. I just put on a mask and I do it in the garage with the door open and make sure I don't get any breathing them in and stuff. So let's get into the garage and we'll start cutting up the foam, just give you guys an idea on how it works out. Alright, I got my mask on, and what you do is you hold the button down and you give it a couple minutes to start heating up. Now when I ship this back, because the head is attached and the base is going to be different, this item won't really have any other stuff in with the package. It's just going to be her, but you want to make sure she's all secure. But it's already starting to heat up, and you can see it smoking a little bit because it had some stuff on it. So you don't want to breathe that in. But what you do is you just do this. And start making sure cutting it in the right sections. So when you let go of the button, it starts to cool down. So we're going to do a fast video of me cutting this all up, and then when we come back, it should be all done. Alright guys, so we're all done, and holy cow, that stuff stinks. So it's always a good thing to do it out in the garage, like I said, or outside. I'm still getting used to the tool. I'm pretty much new to it, but it makes life a lot easier than sitting there with the, serrated kitchen knife and chopping it all up and foam going all over the place. It's also better to do it before you start painting up anything, because it's, if you have the item and it's painted up and then you try to make the foam box for it, you might screw up the paint, you might scratch, whatever. So it's always easier to do it in the beginning. So when you put the box over her now, each project's always going to be different. She sticks out like that, right? So, but that's not a big deal because I'm going to wrap her up in foam padding. I have this stuff here, which you can get off eBay. It's like foam padding. You can get it in big rolls. It's sort of like the stuff that Bowen uses for his statues and what Sideshow used to use before they went to tissue paper. But what I'll do is I wrap her up, and because she's sticking out, what I'll do is I'll probably rig up another piece of foam going around here like a block and tape that around that, and then a block over here so she's still secured, because at least the majority of the body's secured in the box now. It's not just like wrapped in bubble wrap and then shipping it and then you're worrying about everything snapping and breaking. So I'm not pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's going to work out good. I'm looking at it. Everything looks pretty good. She's got some powers in her hands, so I actually have to get those in her hands and see if I have to cut out the foam a little bit more. But that's down the line once I get those ready. But so like I said, a nice foam cutting tool makes your life a lot easier, and you can also really have your prized possessions that are maybe with sculpts, kits, whatever, and you want to move, you want to ship, you can make your own stuff. Now, foam blocks about this size at this place that I found is like 40 bucks. It's not that foam is cheap. It's like you can order a big block and cut it yourself, but if you want him, if I want him to cut down the blocks, it's pretty expensive. But you can really secure your statues and stuff. So that's just another little tip and trick that I've been working on. It's just making life easier now. So like I said, the head used to go here, the base would go here, but now the way things are working, I'm actually working on the base, so I might try to see if I can fit the base going in this direction, but I doubt it because I think the base is going to be a little bit bigger. I'll have to see how everything works out when I get that going. But there you go. That's cutting up foam for a custom statue to customize foam. Something a little simple and fun. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.